people that I teach community college English, they often think I must be a huge glutton for punishment. Others assume I must be a really big nerd. I'm not going to lie to you all, I'm both. But neither of those qualities is why I teach English. I teach English because I love literacy. I love books, I love reading, I love writing. My job is to promote and aid in the development of literacy, and I love my job, it's great. But there's a really big roadblock in it. Students don't like to read. Hard to believe, I know, but it's true. Students don't like reading enough to get in the practice necessary to become proficient at it, which means promoting and aiding in the development of literacy is challenging. It also means much of my job is trying to figure out how to get students to like and want to read. And in about 20 years of teaching, I think I've discovered the secret, the key to literacy, if you will, and I'm here to share it with you all today. Prepare yourselves, it's a doozy. The key to literacy is pizza. Didn't see that one coming, did you? But it's true. Pizza is key to literacy, and literacy is key to health. And in order to reach students and give them the literacy skills for health, one has to engage diverse student populations and make them enjoy reading. Ergo, pizza. Nothing's more engaging than pizza. I see some doubters out there. Okay. Some of you never read 100 books for free personal pan pizza in elementary school, and it shows. That's right, Pizza Hut knew pizza was key to literacy all the way back in 1984 when it started its Book It program to reward elementary school reading with pizza. This program is still going strong at nearly 40 years and still inspiring elementary school reading. Now, I'm not suggesting we bribe college-age students with pepperoni, though that would work. But I'm here to tell you that pizza is key to creating healthier literacy skills, and healthier literacy skills equal healthier lives. So basically, I'm here to show you a miracle. I'm here to show you how pizza can be good for your health. In order to understand this miracle, you have to first understand that literacy, in order to be beneficial to one's life, is not just understanding and identifying and decoding words. There's a difference between basic literacy and healthy literacy, which helps you stay healthy. Real healthy literacy is about critical thinking. It involves analysis, evaluation, and an ability to process information and put it in proper context. True literacy skills are not just about understanding words, but also about understanding how and why words are put together, as well as what words aren't being said and why. Pop quiz. How many of you have read something and then 5 minutes later you can't remember what you read? Show of hands, admit it. Okay. Those of you not raising your hands are liars because this happens to everyone. And it's the job of literacy instruction to teach students how and what to retain while they read, as well as when to expend energy retaining and when not to. For example, if you're reading that 6-month-old copy of Golf Digest at your doctor's office waiting room, you don't have to remember what you read. But if the doctor gives you a pamphlet about a surgery you're having next week, you should probably retain what you read in that pamphlet. Truly healthy literates know these distinctions because they can judge the information in front of them. Sadly, this type of healthy literacy and even basic literacy is lacking in Merced County. According to the World Population Review, California as a state ranks dead last in U.S. literacy, with 1 out of 4 people over the age of 15 unable to decipher sentences. This means there's about 25% of adult Californians that don't recognize words in print. Merced County is in the bottom 50% of the state, with the Merced County Office of Education reporting that literacy proficiency amongst its students is only about 25 to 29%. These low rates need to be raised for the health and well-being of Merced County residents. How does that happen? Well, first of all, healthier literacy equals healthier understanding of health information and instructions, which is crucial to understanding and maintaining health. Merced County in particular is filled with minority students whose primary languages might not be English at home. And these students typically translate health information for family members, which makes it doubly crucial for the health of the county that these students have literacy proficiency. Healthier literacy skills also generally translate into higher paying jobs, meaning more money for healthcare, medicine, and healthy eating and exercise habits. Merced County has high rates of obesity, diabetes, and heart disease, in part because the county is filled with low-income households that don't have the time or money to devote to better health, especially as many residents work multiple jobs to get by. These health issues might be alleviated by higher literacy rates and the resulting higher paying jobs those rates bring. Healthier literacy skills also generally translates into more informed voters, which might raise low voter turnout in our county. And statistics link low literacy skills with criminal behavior and likelihood of incarceration, meaning that higher literacy rates might improve crime and incarceration rates in our county. And this is just a few of the ways that higher literacy rates can benefit the county. So it's important that teachers work on raising these rates. That's why I got involved with reading apprenticeship training under the California Community College Chancellor's Office. Some colleagues and I got together and decided to use this training to create an interdisciplinary literacy center on campus in order to raise campus literacy through peer mentoring and various other services such as workshops and instructor drop-in hours. Pop quiz. What do you think we used to lure students into this brand new center to see what it had to offer? If you didn't say pizza, you're not paying attention. We would go to Costco once a month and get 30 Costco pizzas and have a free pizza day at the center. These days were so successful at bringing students in that I never got a slice of pizza because they would start serving at noon and I was in class till 1. We'd go through 30 pizzas in an hour, and we served hundreds of broke, hungry college students and got them into the center. And they stayed. They used the center's services, their skills improved, and success rates went up. So yes, you can bribe college-age students with pepperoni. It works. The center's training in reading apprenticeship was successful at retaining these students we enticed in with pizza because it focused on engaging students with the text that they were reading. There were two particular strategies that I used to better serve my students. The first strategy was encouraging students to link their lives to their text, to make connections between their personal experience and what they read. The second strategy was sharing personal reading histories so that students could know each other's experiences and I as an instructor could know their experience as well. This first strategy showed me that by and large my student population was not connecting with what they read. And the second strategy showed me that by and large my students had non-existent or negative reading histories. I learned that students don't actually dislike reading as much as I thought they did. That roadblock I mentioned earlier is not really a roadblock. It's not that students hate reading, they just hate what we're making them read. What it boils down to is that learning literacy skills is already an obstacle for my students because of their poor reading history. And adding in text that they don't connect with and can't get comfortable with is a double obstacle. And literacy skills are not going to improve until that additional barrier is removed. This is why instructors need to engage their student populations to get rid of that second obstacle and make healthier literates with healthier lives. Final pop quiz. How do you think I did this in my classroom? The answer is always pizza. I asked my students, why are you in college? They said, to get a job. So I decided to use a couple of texts that were job-related. I brought in a text called How Starbucks Changed My Life by Michael Gates Gill, which was about how Gill lost a six-figure finance job due to downsizing and started becoming a Starbucks barista. And I also gave them a memoir called The Slice Harvester by Colin Hagendorf. This is a memoir about how Hagendorf created a pizza review blog and reviewed a slice of cheese pizza from every pizzeria in Manhattan, which changed his life. And this years-long project also helped him kick various addictions and relationship issues in his life. Reading about this life-changing work changed my teaching and my students' performance. Going from traditional argument topics such as euthanasia, death penalty, abortion, etc., to easier to get enthusiastic about and easier to be more knowledgeable about topics like pizza and coffee really, really improved student engagement. They were more participatory in discussion. They were more easily able to generate ideas and complete research for essays. And I knew they did the reading. And when they got to their final paper for the semester, where I had them write about the jobs they were interested in pursuing, they were so excited that, get this, they turned in their papers earlier than an hour before they were due, okay? That's the miracle of pizza. And coffee, but everybody already knows coffee is miraculous. The best thing about this was that learning with these engaging topics made it easier for them to tackle less engaging topics later. We started talking about, our favorite coffee drinks and whether pineapple should be on pizza. We voted no. But we ended up talking about things that were much heavier, like corporate greed, unions, employee benefits, self-entrepreneurship, etc., which would not have been as possible without these easy-to-get engaged with topics of pizza and coffee. And while I did not bribe my students with pizza, I did reward them with it. I had a final exam, and I brought in pizza from 2 pizza places, and each student got a slice from each place, and they wrote reviews like Hagendorf did. Then they wrote an essay explaining which slice was superior and why. I'm not lying when I say these were some of the best final exam essays I've ever gotten, and it was probably the only final exam I've ever given where everybody went away smiling. And why not? They learned literacy skills, had a fun final exam, got a free lunch, and saved money because they didn't have to pay for their food that afternoon. And there's nothing better than learning and saving money at the same time, is there? That's the magic of mozzarella. And it's transferable to less cheesy subjects as well. COVID has done a real number on student engagement and learning. So some colleagues and I got together last semester and decided to survey students as to what they were most interested in reading in their classes. We discovered that our biggest demographic, 18 to 25-year-old first-generation college student Latino women, were interested in true crime. So because I'm a glutton for punishment and a really big nerd, I decided that I would redo my standard critical thinking course material into a theme on criminal behavior. And I brought in Agatha Christie's Crooked House to my Introduction to Literature course because I figured my students would rather read a murder mystery than some of the more literary novels I normally assign. Sorry, Jane Austen. But I had also examined my own personal reading history and realized that Christie was a huge part of it. My reading history goes all the way back to when I was 4, and my mother taught me to read using the story of Rapunzel, the girl locked in the tower. Even though I was only 4, I completely identified with her because I felt lonely and isolated. You see, I was born with a chromosomal disorder called Turner's syndrome. And it's pretty rare, and it meant that I spent a lot of time in my childhood and early teen years at UC Davis Medical Center's pediatric hospital waiting to see specialists. Being able to read gave me friends because I didn't really have friends otherwise. I was an extremely physically awkward youth in need of adapted physical education, so I didn't do very well on the playground. But I could read, and I spent time in the library doing that. And books have remained an important part of my life, even as I've gained better social skills and coordination. Those times I was at UC Davis, waiting to see doctors, Christy was often what I read, and her books are still to this day my old friends. So I had decided my old friends could become my students' new friends, and I figured right. My students loved Christy so much, they were asking for recommendations of other texts by her to read. And some of them even went to the library and checked out some of those recommendations and started reading them. Yeah, you heard me. They were reading books not assigned. I hope you're all okay, because that almost made me faint when I discovered it. So I added Christie's And Then There Were None to my new criminal behavior critical thinking theme. And we ranked the criminal behavior of the characters in the story. And we used that to talk about all things, Shakespeare's Othello and Dante's Inferno. And let me tell you, it was amazing to be reading Dante and Shakespeare, and my students weren't confused and they weren't bored. All because I had started with topics that they had enjoyed. Like pizza. Everyone enjoys pizza, don't they? And now, you can have a slice day and enjoy a slice guilt-free because you know it's good for you. Thank you.